What's up, y'all? This your boy Philly Rider, and I'm hitting y'all with a new video today. Actually, haven't done one of these in quite some time. It's been a little while since I hit this record button, but as y'all already seen the thumbnail, y'all know the reason that y'all clicked on here. Just wanted to go ahead and just give y'all my quick thoughts on the launch of Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. I'm recording this on August 4th, so we're basically 2 days away now, not even 48 hours. And yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and just basically, record my thoughts on this. I don't have a script. This is all top of the head, but I'm excited. I'm excited. I haven't been this excited for a fighter in quite a while, and it's almost here. So, obviously we had the open beta last week, so just wanted to just go ahead and just give my thoughts on that. I put a lot of time into the beta, even though it was only for 3 days. I did, some rank grinds. I did a lot of first to tens. So basically, you just want to go over, what surprised me, what's worrying me just a little bit, and will this become my main game? So yeah, let's just get let's get right into it here. Basically, the positives, right? My overall thoughts about the positives of this game. Arxis absolutely nailed the presentation, right? I think that's clear as day. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. The presentation of this game is immaculate. The character animations are incredible. The intros are awesome. The music is amazing. All of the characters feel unique. Even the online, which again, I am playing on PC, so I'm very much aware of the PC problems that the beta had. But when I did get, some working matches, the online felt good to me. I won't lie. I mean, the rollback felt good. The fact that, we have crossplay. All of that is just very, very positive things for this game. So I definitely want to, talk about the positive things that this game has right off the bat. The animation and the characters are very, very much a big, big pro of this game. So I definitely want to go ahead and just list that right off the bat. Now, some of the negatives. I think right off the back, right, the PC version of this was, it was lacking, for lack of better words, right? There's definitely some optimization issues that needs to be fixed. But me personally, I won't lie. Me personally, I can only speak for me. I didn't have much problems with the game, just performance-wise, right? Now, obviously, I'll let y'all know my specs. I have a 3080 GPU and I have a 3800X CPU. And I also have 32 gigs of RAM. So, take that what you will. My computer is probably a little bit overkill for this game. So, me not having a lot of performance issues with that hardware, I understand, right? But I can only talk about my experience. I didn't really have a lot of issues with the game performance-wise, but what I did have an issue with, and I won't lie, was the input reader. The input reader felt very, very inconsistent at times, especially DP motions or Dragon Punch motions. So I definitely want to see that fixed. I want to see that be, I just want to see that fixed. Because I mean, I'm not the best fighter game player in the world, but I know how to do a DP, bro. So for me, missing that input as much times as I did, I'm gonna blame that on the input reader and not specifically me. You know what I mean? I know how to do a DP, bro. So yeah, the input reader definitely felt inconsistent at times. They need to go ahead and fix that up. Other than that, I will also say some characters just seem a lot stronger than others. Now again, the beta was 3 days, right? And I didn't even play the whole 3 days. The first day I was working, so I really only played the last 2 days. So this is all of my thoughts over maybe, I don't know, 12 to 13 hours of game time, right? So yes, we didn't really get a lot of time into this game, and everything that I'm saying might not be true at all. We'll see. But from the little bit of time that I did have it, I'm not gonna lie, some characters felt much stronger than others. Magic, which is who I play, I won't lie, Magic felt ridiculously strong. I would say Magneto felt very strong. Star-Lord felt very strong. Black Panther felt very strong. But then you go to characters like I really didn't see a lot of Penny. I didn't really see, to be honest, I didn't see a lot of Wolverine, right? I don't know why I didn't see a lot of Wolverine. assume that Wolverine is a very popular character. So again, this is all just 2 days of gameplay, but I didn't see a lot of Penny. I didn't see a lot of Wolverine. I didn't see a lot of what was the other character? Star-Lord. I didn't see a lot of Star-Lord, but I know that Star-Lord is pretty good. I've been watching a lot of Cloud's gameplays. I'm not gonna say Star-Lord isn't good. But yeah, like basically some characters just seem much stronger than others. Now that was the pros and the cons. What I also want to basically just spend a little bit on is the speed of the game, because just looking on Twitter, looking on Reddit, that seems to be a very, very big topic, is the actual speed of the game. Some people say that they need to speed this game up. I don't know. The way I'm going to do this here is that I'm going to actually compare the speed of this game to 3 other games that I'll also play, right? And these are all tag fighters. So I'm going to compare the speed of this game to Marvel vs. Capcom 3 or Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Dragon Ball FighterZ, and then 2XKO. So again, all 3 of those are tag games, and then we're going from the oldest to the newest, right? So comparing the speed of this game, Marvel Tokon, to the speed of Marvel vs. Capcom 3, or I guess Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. This game is slower, right? I don't think anybody would disagree with this. This game is definitely a slower game than Marvel 3 was. I don't think that's a bad thing, but we gotta call it a fact. This game is definitely a slower game than Marvel 3. I would say that this game is more readable, if that makes sense. I think like you can understand what's going on in this game a lot more than you can understand what's going on in Marvel 3. Like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not downplaying Marvel 3 at all. Everybody knows Marvel 3 is my favorite fighter of all time. So let's just get that out the way. I'm not downplaying it at all. But I'm a realist. I'm gonna keep it real here all the time. As hype as Marvel 3 was, nobody really knew what was going on a lot of the time. You know what I mean? Like when Zero hit you with a cross-up lightning bolt, when Virgil was just coming down hitting that shit, you just gotta pray you block it right. You don't really know what's going on. You know what I mean? So Tokon, I believe, is a lot more readable in the second to second motions than Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was. And with that, I do believe that as time goes on at high level, this game is going to be a lot more random than Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was. And again, this is not me downplaying Marvel 3. Marvel 3 is my favorite fighter of all time. So yeah, this game is slower compared to Marvel 3. It's more readable, and I would say it's less random. Now, compared to Dragon Ball FighterZ, I would say compared to Dragon Ball FighterZ, this has a similar pace and speed. I believe it's similar. However, neutral matters a lot more in this game, Tokon, compared to Dragon Ball FighterZ. So I'll say that again. Neutral matters a lot more in Tokon than it did in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Also, I feel like it's not like an instant death every touch in Tokon compared to how it is in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Now again, let's just get the obvious out the way. We're comparing a game with maybe 3 days of beta towards a game that has over 6 years of meta development, right? I get it. You don't got to tell me that. You don't got to let me know that in the comments. I understand what's going on. This is just, conversation for the video. But yeah, it has a similar pace. I would say neutral matters more in this game compared to Dragon Ball FighterZ. And I would say that as of right now, it feels like you will not have an instant death on every touch in Tokon like you do in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Now, is that going to change in 3 months? Probably. But, that's where we're at right now, right? Now, compared to 2XKO, which is a very recent game as well. And I think that's going to be like that's going to be a game that a lot of players right now, they're going to choose, am I going to play 2 games at high level? And what are those 2 games going to be? Because we got to keep it real. This is the second golden age of fighters. There's a lot of options right now for fighting game players. You have Tokon, you have 2XKO, you have Avatar. Those are just the 3 new games of this year. But then, Street Fighter 6 is still here. Tekken is still here. City of the Wolves is still here. Melty Blood is coming out. You know what I mean? So we have so many options right now for fighting game players that you really have to pick and choose what games you want to play. But I say all of that to say, comparing this game to 2XKO, I believe that the movement in this game is actually faster than 2XKO. believe it or not. I believe that Tokon is a faster game than 2xKO. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know, but it feels faster to me. It also feels at the same time like you have less defensive options in this game compared to 2xKO, which I know is crazy because 2xKO is like, you know, it's unga bunga as well with all of its tag mix-ups. But I feel like with 2xKO, you have push block. You have ways to, you know, you have the way to get people off you that can't be really countered, right? In this game, let's be real. Any good player, unless they switch the timing of this counter, we're countering that shit every single time. It's not really hard to counter, right? And I'm talking about the counter. I don't know. Is it called the assemble move? I think it's called the assemble move, but the move where, you know, when you're blocking, you can just press a button to get them off, but it can be countered, right? It's not hard to counter that. You can basically do that on reaction, and unless they change that timing, you probably are going to be doing it on reaction. You know, if you practice probably 10, 20 minutes, right? So this game has less defensive options than 2xKO. This game has faster movement than 2xKO, in my opinion. So yeah, so that's my comparison for Marvel Tokon 3, Dragon Ball FighterZ, and then 2xKO. Going into the assists, so this is going to be a long section because I have a lot to say about the assists. But getting into the assist here, basically just talking about the good and the bad. The good thing about the assist, I would say that right now, you do have to think about your assist, right? And because I say that because the first day I played this, I was like, yo, why is there no meter? Like, why is there no resource for using the assist? Why can't you just spam this? But as I played more and I kind of figured out how they're going with this, the pips are your resources, right? And the way that you use your pips in your combo, if the pips also went away when you just used it in neutral, it would have been a little bit too limited. So I kind of understand why they went the way that they did. So as of right now, neutral assists, they feel very meaningful. Cause like I said, neutral in this game feels good to play. It does. Neutral in this game feels very, very good to play. So neutral assist feels very meaningful. Like you actually have to think about the timing of your assist because happy birthdays are still very real and very relevant in this game. However, going to the bad, some of it might be a little bit too restrictive. Now again, you know, it's only been 2 days, right? And I have seen some of the videos where people have, you know, come up with clever ways to use assist when you're in, I guess, what is called a neutral position. And that way, you know, you're using it in a combo, but it's not taking a pip, right? Now that's definitely going to take some labbing. That's definitely going to take a little bit to get used to. But the fact that people found that is really cool. So yeah, like the assist, I think the neutral assist feels meaningful to use. I think that neutral in this assist feels very good when you are, you know, using your assist and countering other assists with your assist. I think that is the gameplay of that whole back and forth is very, very good to play. And then basically, you know, when we're comparing it to the other games, right? When we're comparing the assist of this game to Marvel Tokon 3, I like the way that this game does it. I'm not gonna lie. I really like the way that the assists in this game are, even though the first day I really didn't like it, but it grew on me, right? So yeah, a lot of early community feedback that I found is also basically echoing that statement that Tokon assists they're more deliberate than I would say, like than Marvel 3 or even 2xKO, right? They are more deliberate in though, but they're rewarding. I mean, the planning is rewarded more instead of like constantly covering unsafe positions. You know what I mean? Now, how long will this game last? I think there's a lot going for this game. That, you know, we can see this game be supported, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it has the Marvel IP, right? Marvel is Marvel. You know what I mean? Marvel is probably the biggest thing out there. It's crossplay. It's spectator friendly. Um, they clearly have a DLC pipeline in the works, right? You know Phoenix Cyclops is coming out. If they can stick to 4 characters a year, I mean, Street Fighter 6 right now is on what, year 4, right? Who knows what this game is going to look like 4 years from now with another 16 characters added to the roster? Who knows what this game is going to look like? You know what I mean? But yes, I definitely think this game is going to last a while. I do. I think this game is going to last minimum 6 years. You know what I mean? Yeah, I definitely think this game is going to last a long time. Trying to think anything else that I want to go ahead and just let y'all know about, or did I cover everything? Just looking at my notes. I mean, this is all off the top of my head, but I do got like a little notepad here. But yeah, I think that's basically everything here. You know, just comparing it to the other fighters here. If I compare this to Marvel 3, just in general, I would say comparing this to Marvel 3, this game has more. This game feels more structured than Marvel 3 does. But Marvel 3 probably does have a higher skill ceiling. I don't know. Like I said, this is all 2 days of play testing, so I don't know. But I would say that Tokon is like a more structured and it's easier to understand, right? Which basically makes it a better onboarding game than Marvel 3. Dragon Ball FighterZ, I feel like the DNA of this game is very, very similar to Dragon Ball FighterZ. Dragon Ball FighterZ, and even like something like BlazBlue Tag, I feel like those 2 games are probably the most similar to this game. Very, very similar DNA, right? Air movement, the combo routing, the Arxis influence, right? So if you like Dragon Ball FighterZ, I think you're going to have a very, very good time with this game. If you like BlazBlue Tag, I think you're going to have a very, very good time with this game. Now, the comparison to 2SKL, I think that's going to be the ongoing comparison for years to come, which, I'm interested to see how these 2 games are going to, compete against each other. But if I'm comparing this game to 2SKL, I would say that this game has more, I guess, this game has more chaos than 2XKO does, if that makes sense, even though 2XKO has more of the degenerate setup. But you can kind of counter that with, some of the defensive options that 2XKO gives you compared to what Tokon gives. You know what I mean? But with that said, I think 2XKO, the fuse system in general is kind of what makes that game a little bit different. So shout out to them. But yeah, I would say Tokon is just a little bit more chaotic right now than 2SKO is because of the lack of defensive options. And that's only going to increase as people learn the game, right? And again, those are basically my final thoughts, man. If the beta is any indication, I think Marvel Tokon has a very, very real chance to become the next big game in the SBC. And I'm talking about Street Fighter 6 level dig. Will it surpass Street Fighter 6? I don't know. I don't think so. But is it going to be the second most popular game in the FGC? Probably. And I think that's a very, very good outcome to have. The accessibility of this game is great, even though it has a high level skill ceiling, right? I do believe that there's a high level skill ceiling in this game. And I also believe that the character identity is probably the biggest strength of this game, right? Spider-Man plays like Spider-Man. Iron Man plays like Iron Man. Blade plays like Blade, right? If they just keep that up, we got Cyclops coming. I mean, it's Cyclops, bro. Like, only thing you really got to do in this game is just add the characters that people want, and you're golden. And like, I think they're going to do just that, bro. I think they're going to do just that. Like, give me Ultron, give me Thanos, give me Daredevil, give me Emma Frost, give me Scarlet Witch, give me Kang the Conqueror, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. You know what I mean? Like, the MCU did that man so bad. Put Kang in the game, bro. Put Kang the Conqueror in the game, Arxis. Stop playing with me. But yeah, man, this is your boy Philly Rider. Like I said, this was no script at all. I'm coming up on 20 minutes of just rambling. Anybody that stayed and listened to your boy, salute. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, man. We got a lot more content coming. We 2 days away, bro. 48 hours. This game is out. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna see y'all. We out.